Good morning, welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is 11:30. Today is Thursday, March 18th, 2010. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 3:30 p.m. right now in London. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. The Congressional Budget Office has finally scored the health care plan that the Senate and House are going to vote on this weekend. They estimate it will save $130 billion over the next 10 years and extend coverage to 95% of Americans. That bill will be voted on this weekend, and the Democratic leaders are cautiously optimistic that it will pass. We'll now go to our main news for the day. U.S. unemployment figures came out showing that those applying for first-time unemployment benefits dropped by 5,000 over the past week. It's now down to a seasonally adjusted 457,000. It's the third straight decline. It's in line with expectations. The 4-week average of initial claims also dropped down to about 471,000 as well. The stock market is up about 31 points right now. XL Capital in Bermuda came in last night with some net losses from the Chilean earthquake. They're placing their net losses at anywhere between $140 million and $205 million. They say that estimated losses related to Xynthia are between $20 million and $25 million. XL said that 75 to 85 million of the Chilean estimates are due to its insurance segment, and 65 to 120 million are due to the reinsurance business. In Fargo, North Dakota, along the Minnesota border, people are getting ready. Here's a picture of the Red River of the North last year. This is a dog looking out over its former pasture where it used to roam. Well, it's rising about 3 feet every 24 hours. The river is already well beyond its banks. They placed about 800,000 sandbags up there. They've got 200,000 more to go. They hope to be protected up to 40 feet. The record last year was when the river hit 40.8 feet. They're expecting when it peaks on Sunday, the crest, they're expecting it to peak at 38 feet, which will still be a disaster, but they think they'll be contained. There's an interesting story coming out from a study released by Ernst & Young. They're saying that outsourcing of the insurance claims function is going to really plummet in the next 3 years because insurers are looking to take back greater control of their claims. The report is entitled Strategy Matters, Driving Claims to the Next Level of Performance. It indicates a dissatisfaction with the amount of influence claims professionals appear to have in corporate management. They also say that 63% of those surveyed expect that the amount of offshore or outsourced claims providers, or the business that they get, is going to severely dip in the next 3 years. The report noted across the claims value chain there is considerable outsourcing and offshoring of activity today. The highest proportion of outsourcing is seen in the notification and triage area for Lloyd's and London market insurers, and for claim validation and reserving for retail insurers. Going forward, we note an increased desire to bring activity back in-house and onshore. Typically, when questioned, insurers cite the desire for greater control of the claims value chain. Well, that's a shot across the bow of some very large establishments down in Chatham. I won't give out any names, but it certainly coordinates with many, many things people are saying in many, many meetings we attend. Well, we're on Lloyd's, so let's continue. Back in 1906, San Francisco experienced the worst earthquake in its history. An 8.25 brought the city to its knees, and Cuthbert Heath cabled his San Francisco agent. He said, "Pay all of our policyholders in full, irrespective of the terms of their policies." Well, Stephen Jackson at Cooper Gay must have gotten that message, because he's saying that the losses associated with the Chilean earthquake, which are expected to come into the $3 to $5 billion range, should be paid immediately. He says whatever the final figure is, he wants to see the claim settled without hesitation. The imperative now is to get money to where it's needed very quickly. This is an opportunity for the reinsurance industry, and particularly Lloyd's and London, to show what they can do. If an insurer's primary layer has been significantly exceeded, we should not be wasting time flying out loss adjusters to assess loss levels. We should be paying claims quickly. Supporting cedents, he continued, in this difficult time and demonstrating the experience and quality of Lloyd's and the London market is not only the right thing to do, but it will once again underline the strength, experience, and capacity of this market. Mr. Jackson, hats off to you. Give credit when it's due. We'll go to a word now from our sponsors and come back with the rest of a very busy news day. Australia has issued an alert for a large part of its popular East Coast tourist area today. Take a look at this picture. This is Tropical Storm Uli. It's expected to slam into eastern Australia over the weekend. An evacuation watch has been announced for about 800 kilometers of the Great Barrier Reef. This thing is going to come in with gusts of up to 205 kilometers per hour. It's about 1,000 kilometers off the coast right now. It's going to hit on Sunday morning. Down to Bermuda now. Our friend Jonathan Kent is doing some very good reporting from the inaugural Bermuda Reinsurance Club event staged by Reinsurance Magazine. And he picked up this story today. The headline is, many Bermuda international insurance companies will likely move their holding companies elsewhere within the next few years. This is according to none other than Mark Byrne, the chairman of Flagstone Re. Byrne said that he was aware that many companies were looking at redomestication plans, but then he said that it shouldn't be a serious problem for Bermuda. He said a lot of Bermuda companies now have holding companies or operating companies in other domiciles, including my own, Flagstone. People get nervous about what that means, Mark continued. For the future of Bermuda, I think it means almost nothing. Flagstone did keep its holding company on the island, and its operations here were not impacted by the restructuring. Everything else was moved offshore to Switzerland, and they now are let me make sure I get this straight, their operating unit that they mainly use is Flagstone Reassurance Swiss. It allows Flagstone to consolidate its capital in one operating entity. That's the Swiss entity. Mr. Burns said, we pay all the same payroll taxes and create all the same jobs as we would if we had the main company here. What Bermuda cares about is that there are still brokers getting off airplanes looking to place submissions. It makes no difference if they're doing business with a Swiss company or a Cayman company. Byrne continued saying that it should not surprise him if there were few insurers with holding companies still in Bermuda within a few years. He said he was aware of a tremendous number of firms looking at ways to redomesticate holding companies. But I don't think that matters to Bermuda, he added. Just FYI, if you go to the Royal Gazette